Hello everyone, today we'll learn the economic and spiritual self. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Hello everyone, our topic for today's report is about the material or economic self. Let me give you some overview about it. The material self, according to William James, consists of things that belong to a person or an entities that a person belongs to. Ito yung mga tangible objects, people or places na may label recognition ka na mine, or ito yung mga bagay-bagay na masasabi mo talagang sa'yo yun dahil pwede mo ito siyang angkinin. For example, may money, may clothes, may family, may body, may room, may house, may ballpen. Basta yung mga bagay-bagay na masasabi mo talagang sa'yo yun dahil may label ka roon. Such possessions are viewed as extension of individuals' identities. Ang mga bagay na belong sa material self ay extension of individuals' identities dahil nagpapakita ito siya ng mga characteristics ng isang tao. Yes, dito sa material self, kailangan may label ka. Dahil hindi mo pwedeng angkinin ng isang bagay kung wala kang label roon. And label really matters because you really feel that it was part of your life, and it will also help you to define your goals and determine your self-identity. So, let's discuss about the symbolic self-compression. Symbolic self-compression refers to having or seeking social symbols of achievement regarding a goal important to one's self-identity. For further understanding about this theory, it can now be spelled out using the concept of commitment to goals, symbols of completeness, and social reality. Commitment of self-defining goals. Before we discuss about that, let me give you what is self-defining and what is goals. Self-defining means people predicate of themselves some quality that corresponds to a sense of control and their capabilities. Ang self-defining, nagre-require dito siya ng knowing yourself so you could determine if you are capable of doing something or not. Ang example nito is, if you think that you are capable or you have the skills or ability of being an artist, you can define yourself as an artist as long as alam mo sa sarili mo na kaya mong panindigan ng mga yun. In self-defining, before you define yourself as na something incredible, you must know within yourself that you are capable of being an incredible. So, let's proceed sa goals. Goals, according to Mead, are defined by interacting with others, and that the sense of progress towards goal requires social recognition. So why goals are defined by interacting with other people? Masiset up ba natin yung goals natin without interaction? Well, without interactions, you cannot set up your goals kasi hindi mo marirealize yung mga dapat mong marirealize sa buhay dahil hindi mo ma-experience ang mga experiences na kailangan mo para mag-grow ka as an individual at para ma-set up mo yung goals mo at para makahanap ka ng mga paraan para ma-achieve mo yung goals mo na yun. Because of interaction, you might gain some motivations or influences na makakatulong sa iyo para ma-define mo yung goals mo or makakatulong sa iyo para ma-achieve mo yung goals mo na yun. Meanwhile, according to Mead, the progress towards goal requires social recognition. So why social recognition is important about the progress of our goals? Well, social recognition really matters in achieving our goals. Kasi iba pa rin talaga pag you are socially recognized by other people because they will help you to achieve your goals by means of valuing you, respecting you, at ma-feel mo man talaga na you are a beloved person if you are accepted by the society. The things around you or the people around you really affects you kasi sila yung main factors kung bakit ganito ka ngayon at kung ano man ang narating mo ngayon at kung ano pang mararating mo in the future. Yung mga taong nasa paligid mo They shape you out as an individual na maaaring maging motivation mo yun para ma-achieve mo yung goals mo or para ma-set up mo yung goals mo. The commitment of self-defining goal from Levin's perspective, a goal-specific tension remains active only as the person is involved psychologically in the pursuit of goals. This means that if you are committed to your goals or if you are determined to achieve your goals, nagkakaroon tayo ng psychological tension in which we think on possible ways on how could we overcome certain circumstances that comes in our way or that stop us in achieving our goals. This psychological tension remains until our goals is achieved. Once we are interrupted or challenged to accomplish our goals, and if our solutions does not show us the right thing to do, we started to formulate other plans or we started to formulate other solutions to overcome our problems or to solve our problems so that we could continue pursuing our goals. As you know, we have this personality of not giving up, and we always choose to take the risk because we believe that we only fail when we stop trying. And you know, we always try our best to learn from our mistakes. And I think that's what Odsin Kianat believes. He believes that the task was important personally to subjects, the resumption effects were the strongest. Yun na nga, once we don't succeed to our previous plans, we formulate another plans para sa achievement ng ating goals. So let's proceed in symbol of completeness. Symbol of completeness could be defined as indicators of what's standing with respect to self-defining goals that are potentially recognizable by others. For instance, if you want to achieve your goals, like gusto mo maging doctor, you will seek symbols of completeness that shows na na-achieve mo talaga yung goals mo. For example niya is an engineering degree. That is one symbol of being an engineer, and a high scores at exams are symbols of intelligence. Furthermore, we have status symbol that could help us understand more about symbol of completeness. Status symbols describe as abbreviations for immediate social acknowledgement. Example ng status symbol is yung mga abbreviation after the name of a professional like LPT, engineer, RNT, RN, and so on, that are all symbols of their professions.
Today I am going to discuss to you about the three categories of symbols and also the three social reality. Now let's proceed. The similarly titles, official occupational positions, and membership in select interest groups are all socially evolved mechanisms for providing the individual with indicators or markers of possessing an aspire to self-definition. For the sake of the convenience, it is possible to view such symbols as falling into three groups. The first one is the background experience or training requisite to the activity. The second one is occupying a position or status that furthers the relevant activities. Or the last one is the performance of the act itself. For each of these three categories of symbols, the person stands to be recognized as possessing the self-definition is sought after. In the case of A, the specific symbol could be education. In the instance of B, it might be the position on understanding the self, which is the vice president. And also for the C, one is recognized as being a musician or lawyer simply by remaining highly active in musician-like or lawyer-like actions. And let's proceed to the three social realities, which is the first one is by Muller, 1933, found that the tension reduction potential of a substitute task depended largely on whether or not solving the substitute task carried a social reality. The substitute task had tension-reducing properties only when the solution was announced to the experimenter. Once others acknowledge the person for having solved the problem, having solved it becomes a social fact and thus can serve as a self-defining symbol. This line thinking can be carried back to Cooley, 1902. This is the second one, who states that the self-definitions can come into being and remain stable only by virtue of the acknowledgement of others. Thus, the sense of progress toward a self-defining goal is dependent on the acknowledgement of others. We will call this the social reality factor. This is the last social reality. We can also talk about a concept of broadening social reality. Once a person has an indicator at hand, the sense of completeness should be enhanced to the degree that one can inform more people about it, or more generally enlarge the scope of individuals who would potentially recognize the completeness of the self-definition. Thank you.
I am here to tackle about the spiritual self. When we say your spiritual self, it's you in your most beautiful and powerful form. It is the authentic self, the unconditioned part, the you without the patterns. Meaning, it refers to the core dimension of you, your innermost self that provides a sense of who you truly are. In addition to this, the word spiritual also directly relates to religion and spirituality. Religion is an organized system of ideas about spiritual or supernatural realm that is accompanied by rituals. Meaning, it is the belief of supernatural, something science cannot explain. It also consists of behaviors and practices, morals, views, and various texts and prophecies about the importance of the supernatural in the universe. Spirituality. Spirituality concerns an aspect of the divine and supernatural, but is oftentimes limited to the individual, with no need for any formal organization. It is also the search for meaning and direction in life and the ways by which one may preserve these. Meaning, it is the recognition of a belief that there is something greater than oneself. In addition to this, spirituality can also be defined as an individual search for the ultimate meaning or purpose in life. The role of the religion in the society to explain things, how something was made, to establish order, keeping everything in its righteous place, to justify things, to provide support. Some people find comfort with their religion mentally and spiritually. Socializes people. Religious gatherings help religious people to socialize with others. Vehicle for passage into a different domain. Various religious event is a means of participating in activities, and religion itself is a vehicle for art, music, and other forms of experience. Moving on. Theories of religion. First is the cognitive. It imparts meaning and value to the world. It is the scientific approach to the study of religion, which combines methods and theories from cognitive and developmental psychology. Next is psychological. It is how people adapt to extreme fatigue and tension, or stresses. It also consists of the application of psychological methods and interpretive frameworks. Lastly is the social function. It looks at the relationships of people, unity and conformity to the majority. Meaning, functionalists argues that religion helps to create social order. Religion as organized. Organized belief in the supernatural fulfills numerous social and psychological needs. In the last 10,000 years, no group of people have gone or existed within religion. Meaning, religion organizes the beliefs and satisfies the various social and psychological needs of every human being. Lastly, the symbols of religion. Religions make use of many symbols, norms, words, ideas, and objects that point to other objects. When put together, these symbols become a system of knowledge. And by system of knowledge, I mean the religion itself. We all know that every religion upholds different beliefs, morals, norms, and rituals that holds importance to the religion as a system. That is all. Thank you.
So now I will discuss about religion and myths. Religion and myths. These are stories that have explanation about the divine and the supernatural. Within a culturally, myths are considered real. This is accompanied by ideology and worldview. So this means that mythical stories and religion are connected to each other. Modern major religions have their myths. First is the Hinduism. So if you talk about Hinduism, it is an Indian religion. It has 1.2 billion members worldwide, and many scholars state that this religion is the oldest one in the world. And Hinduism believes in the cycle of life. Halimbawa, ito is yung death and incarnation. Example is, halimbawa, namatay yung pamilya nila, yung isang membro ng pamilya nila. Pinapaniwalaan nila na yung kaluluwa is pupunta sa animals. So, kahit anong animals doon sa India is hindi nila sinasaktan. Kahit makita nila yung ahas sa daan, hindi nila sinasaktan kasi yung paniniwala nila is yung kaluluwa ng kanilang pamilya is baka nandoon sa hayop na yun. So, itong tatlo na to na Brahma, Krishna, Vishnu, ito yung mga example ng gods sa Hinduism. So, si Brahma, he is the first god in the Hindu triumvirate. So, pag sinabi natin triumvirate, it's a group or association. Si Krishna, the most famous Hindu's divinities. Then si Vishnu, isa yung tinatawag na the preserver kasi binabalik niya yung bawat bagay sa in order. So yun yung gawain ni Vishnu. Tapos yung isang yung mga pangunahing example ng myths about Hinduism is yung Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The second one is the Muhammad and the Angel Gabriel, Islam. So if you talk about Islam, Islam religion, it began when Angel Gabriel showed to Prophet Muhammad, then told Prophet Muhammad that he is being chosen by God to become his messenger. So doon nagsimula yung Islam religion kay Prophet Muhammad. Noong una, nire-reject yung mensahe ni Prophet Muhammad sa Mecca. Kasi yung Mecca is hindi naniniwala kay Allah or kay God. Kaya yung ginawa ng ibang bansa is kinuha si Prophet Muhammad, tsaka doon nagturo ng kanyang mga mensahe hanggang sa lumaon hanggang sa namatay si Prophet Muhammad. Nagpatuloy yung kanyang mga membro na ibahagi yung kanyang mga mensahe, tapos hanggang sa ngayon is na-adapt na siya ng mga lugar doon. Halimbawa is yung Iraq, Syria, mga Libya, ganun na lugar. Tapos yung Mecca ngayon is ito na yung sentro ng ng religion na Islam. So ibig sabihin is naging epektibo talaga yung pagtuturo ni Prophet Muhammad at kanyang mga membro. Tapos si Angel Gabriel, ito din yung parang same sila sa Christianity kasi si Angel Gabriel, siya din yung nagpakita kay Zachariah about sa kapanganakan ni John the Baptist, kay Mary about sa kapanganakan ni Jesus Christ, kay Abraham about din sa kapanganakan ni Isa. So parang connected sila. Pero sa Islam is yung paniniwala ng Islam is si Jesus Christ is isa lang din siyang propeta na pinadala lang ng Panginoon. So hindi siya God para sa Islam. Isa lang din siyang propeta. Adam and Eve, Judaism and Christianity. So lahat naman siguro tayo is familiar tayo sa Adam and Eve stories, di ba? So dito nagsimula yung Judaism and Christianity. So yung Judaism and Christianity kasi is both sila na Abrahamic religion. Naniniwala sila sa Panginoon ni Abraham. Pero ang pinagkaiba nila is yung Judaism is sinusunod pa din nila yung mga ancient practices kagaya ng mga rituals, mga alay, mga prayers. Kasi yun yung pinapaniwalaan nila to have an eternal dialogue with God. But the Christianity is naniniwala sila sa Triune God. Triune God means the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So ito yung pinapaniwalaan nila. Yung pinapaniwalaan nila na Panginoon is yung si Jesus Christ na ipinadala dito sa lupa Yun yung pinapaniwalaan nila na Panginoon na nagpakatawang tao. So yun yung ano nila. Samantalang yung Judaism is naniniwala sila kay Yahweh, the God, the Father. Yun yung pinapaniwalaan nila. Tapos yung pinapaniwalaan ng Judaism, yung si Jesus Christ is anak siya ng Panginoon. Hindi siya yung ama. Yun yung pinapaniwalaan nila. So, the Jade Emperor or Taoism. So, the Jade Emperor is one of the Chinese mythology. He is considered to be the ruler of heaven, one of the highest-ranking gods, and the first emperors in the Chinese. So, if we talk about Taoism, Taoism teaches that all living creatures ought to live in a state of harmony with the universe. So, yung Taoism is naniniwala sila na kailangan yung animals and people is mag-live sila in a balance. Tapos naniniwala sila na every living organism is nanggaling sa chi. Kung familiar kayo sa chi, kung nakapanood kayo ng Kung Fu Panda, isa yung energy. Di ba? Kung nakapanood kayo ng Kung Fu Panda, magigets nyo kung ano yung chi. Worldview. The collective body of ideas that have members of a culture generally share concerning the ultimate shape and the substance of the reality. Myths help to shape a culture worldview the way you look at reality. For example, Judeo-Christian. So, pag sinabi natin Judeo-Christian, yung Judaism at Christianity is pinagkaisa pagkatapos ng World War II. Kasi kung familiar kayo doon sa Jewish Holocaust, madaming Jews doon ang namatay. Mga Jewish doon yung namatay, mga bali 6 million sila kasi pinatay sila ng mga German, tinorture na. So, bali ang ginawa ng Amerika, parang daw di na daw maulit yung ganun, para maprotektahan na daw yung mga Jewish people. Yung ginawa nila is pinagkaisa nila yung Christianity at Judaism para daw di na maulit yung ganung pangyayari. Kasi kaawa-awa talaga yung nangyari sa Israel yung nangyari. Kasi halos naubos talaga yung mga tao doon. Navajo worldview. So Navajo worldview believes that there are two classes of being, the earth people and the holy people. So yung holy people daw, they have the power to aid or harm the earth people. So yun do yung paniniwala ng Navajo worldview. So yun ang part na isa.
Let us proceed now to religion rituals. Religions have rituals or what they call rito. It is whatever is done repeatedly. Rituals of religions is any repetitive and pattern behavior that is prescribed by or tied to a religion institution, belief, or customs, often with the intention of communicating with the deity or supernatural power. Repetitive because paulit-ulit na ginagawa, and rituals or rito is a pattern behavior kasi napapasa siya from generations to generations. Simula pa sa mga kanununuan natin, ginagawa na nila hanggang sa mapasa sa mga parents natin and later on sa atin na and so on. There are two types of ritual. First is the rituals according to calendar or the calendric. Calendric rituals are the ritual events marking particular time of year. Ano to siya? Ritual na ginagawa for a specific time of the year, month, weeks, or days. For example of this is the Sunday Masses, Friday prayer for Muslims, pilgrimage which is ginagawa ng Muslim yearly, same sa fasting during the month of Ramadan. Ang keyword here sa calendric is ritual siya na pino-perform in a specific time and date. May timeline. Second is the ritual based on crisis. This ritual naman is ginagawa based on situations. Wala siyang specific time and date kung kailan gagawin or ipo-perform. Parang call of nature kung kailan kailangan saka ipo-perform. Like for example, yung rituals of marriage, rituals for dads, ganon. Wala siyang specific time kung kailan mangyayari yun. Gagawin siya kung kailan needed. Next is religion rites or rites of passage. Rites of passage is a ceremony or rituals which involve significant change of status in society. It is rituals that mark major milestone in a person's life or the person's from one stage of life to the next. The first in rites of passage is the rites of separation. Rites of separations are rites that involve the separation of the individual from society. This is an isolation of a person from one group. Example of this is a person who decided to what they called balik Islam. Like halimbawa, Catholic then nagbalik Islam. So, when that Catholic person embraces the Islam religion, he or she is separated from his or her old identity or religion, which is the Catholic. He or she can't undo that anymore. Next is the rites of transition. Rites of transition is a rites on temporary separation of an individual before inclusion in a big group. From the word itself, transition, it is a process or a period of changing from one state or condition to another. The participants is no longer in the old stage but not yet in the new. So, yung example kanina with the transition, you have to learn all sorts of new stuff like learning what is the Islam culture and traditions, beliefs, and all the important things one should know, like how to pray properly. You need to learn important things before the inclusion in the group. So it is a process of changing from old to new. When the ceremony happens, you can still back out in this stage. The third one is rites of incorporation. It is in the new state or condition, the individual is returned to the big group. It is the incorporation of that new identity. It is when the individual is reintroduced into society in his or her own new position. In our example, it is when the individual come back into society as a new, like he or she is now a balik Islam individual. Like yung sa example nga natin from Catholic, nagbalik Islam, so na-separate or isolate na siya from his or her old religion. During the rites of transition naman, the individual is no longer in his or her old religion but not yet in the new. Then here in the rites of incorporation, the individual is already part of the Islam religion. The individual is completely transformed and attain new status. Next is the rites of intensification. Rituals used in times of problem or crisis in order to unify, reduce fear, or to mobilize people in action. It is a procedure associated with periodic events or seasonal crises affecting a societal group as a whole. Example of this is death of someone. Everyone is gathered and unified. It mobilizes people into action that causes changes in human activity. People are gathered to pay their respect and tribute for the dead one. The emotion of everyone is as one. They feel the same sentiments during the time of the event. Thank you.
This time, let's talk about the 7 ways to improve your spiritual health. Spiritual health includes a purposeful life, transcendence, and actualization of different dimensions and capacities of human aspects. This creates a balance between psychological, physical, and social attributes of human being. So, spiritual health really talks about a purposeful life. So number 1 here, explore your spiritual core. You are simply asking questions about the person you are and your meaning. Here, we're not talking about the dreams you have, but your visions to your spiritual aspect. Questioning who am I, what is my purpose, what do I value most. Upon answering those questions, you are also experiencing a greater sense of purpose and more calm to fully understand who truly you are. So number 2 naman is look for deeper meanings. Help you see that you have a control over your destiny. No, being aware of this can help you achieve a happy and healthy life. So dito we're talking naman about deeper meanings. So we're not overthinking here, but you seek to understand who truly you are. Kagaya ng mga questions na bakit ako nabubuhay, bakit kailangan kong umattend ng mga church or mga spiritual gatherings, mga ganon. Thus, it leads you to a faith kasi. Leading you to a faith and a goal. And you can feel that, you can feel fulfillment and at the same time developing you a path with certain basis on scriptures and the teaching na mga narinig mo no, especially sa mga gatherings, and at the same time you acquiring knowledge. No, in here when talking about deeper meaning, so ayun, a deeper appreciation to your spirituality. Number 3 naman is get it out. No, expressing what is your mind will help you maintain a focused mind. Now this time you will listen to your intuition and follow your heart as well. But this time, be open and guide yourself. Pay attention also to the messages na naririnig natin, especially on the mass, no? Mga spiritual gathering ba yan, or any na mga ginagawa natin ng mga activities in spiritual realm, even sa mga advices ng spirit-filled person. Makakuha talaga tayo dun ng mga knowledge, at the same time, mga sense of awareness sa ating spirituality. Paano ba natin masistrengthen yung ating spiritual aspect, no? And then, at the same time, no, you are expressing yourself kasi nga you are being open here. Get it out, no? Expressing yourself in a way that will benefit you. Okay. So, number 4 is try yoga. So, can help improve your spiritual wellness by reducing emotional and physical strains on your body. Can help lower stress, boost the immune system, and lower blood pressure, as well as reduce anxiety, depress, fatigue, and insomnia. So dito, when trying yoga, no, syempre magkakaroon ka dito ng meditation and then a moment of silence. And that, it will give you, I will give your subconscious mind an opportunity, no, an opportunity to explore your spiritual being. No, ayun, dito, what we call this one, you are exercising the capacity of your spiritual aspect. Number 5 naman is travel. No, can do wonders for your mind. Help you to reflect and rest. You will have a better connection with yourself without stressors, and set your mind to the right track for overall wellness. It includes exercising, no, speaking with a counselor, or meditation, or taking a temporary silence, no? Dito, no, hindi naman talaga necessary na kailangan mo talagang lumabas and lumayo, no, pumunta talaga sa other places. But here, spending our time outdoors could really help us a lot, connecting with our inner nature. Like for example, just a walk on a park and let your mind go. Ayun, travel. But at the same time, no, you are meditating, you are reflecting, no? Reflecting. So, yun lang, hindi lang tayo talagang maka-overthink kasi baka mas lalo kang masistress, no? Kasi ang sense naman talaga dito why we travel is that a leisure, no? Spending time for ourselves. Ganon. So, number 6 is think positively. Finding yourself thinking differently and refocusing your mind a happy and healthy place. Eliminate negatively and reframe how you think. So, ayun, we're talking about here renewing our mind. It's all about mind setting and how we will see our environment. Ganon. So, alam naman natin here, we are on the challenging time, right? No, on this pandemic. But, ayun, we will be positive. In mind na, hindi yung positive sa COVID. So that we would able to twist the situation and we could release that energy, that good vibes, no? Happy-happy lang no matter what kasi hindi naman natin alam what tomorrow will bring. Siguro ngayon, hirap-hirap muna tayo at very challenging to us, but tomorrow, there's joy always in the morning. Ayun. Number 7 is take time to meditate. No, last but not the least, devote time to connecting with yourself. Fitting meditation and relaxation into your lifestyle will free your mind and foster a stronger relationship with your spiritual wellness. Ayun, talking about here, stronger relationship. Ayun, saan ba tayo nakikipagrelasyon when talking about spirituality? So, especially sa ating, no, God Almighty. No, not only our mga church members, mga elders natin, but sa ano talaga, sa ating Almighty, to our Father in heaven, no? Here we're talking about devotion, our daily intimacy dyan kay Lord, and that spending time in silence, no? So our thoughts could be are the sounds, no, na masisense lang natin, and that's the point na makakapagmuni-muni ka sa iyong buhay at the same time, no, na you would able to understand who truly you are and malalaman mo din, ganito palang purpose ko sa buhay. No, I'm not living for my own, but also for the others, ganon. And, ayun, kasi when you're trying to meditate kasi, you are not only recognizing your spiritual aspect but reawakening your spiritual capacity. Ano ba yung kaya mo? Kasi alam naman natin that faith, no, can move mountains. Kaya nga, ayun, all you have to do is to understand, meditate, reflect, have time for ourselves, no, para sa ating spiritual aspect. At the same time, no, devote ourselves and have a daily intimacy with our God Almighty. All in all, reconnecting to our inner self is very important for healthier living. There is no hard rules for being open to your spiritual self. Just follow your heart, believe, have faith, and trust our Almighty. Thank you.
That's all. Thank you for listening.